everybody. My name is Bethuel. This is Nourish. Welcome back to the Cozy Corner podcast. Tonight, we have a very special, very beautiful guest.
Very beautiful, very young, very teenage. Not a teenager anymore.
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
Not a teenager. He used to be a teenager when I met him. That was I didn't meet him. I did eventually, but when I first spoke to him, he was still a teenager, fascinated by the world of music, and so he stayed, being the one and only Kerri that he is today. We're gonna do an interview with famous Kerri.
Maybe just famous, not necessarily infamous.
Just a little bit of an information on this here egg.
Right.
That's a temporary egg to test out the lighting scenario with a pinkish background.
Yes.
Because, as you know, the logo of the podcast is this pinkish neon cozy corner podcast thing, which we're going to turn into an actual neon or a light fixture behind us. So that's why we're trying it out with this little thing here, and we're gonna move on to a more professional solution.
Which, wait, this sign was your idea, right, Kerri?
Oh yeah. I was the one that pitched that.
So he's gonna get he's not gonna get 15%.
He's gonna get 15% of $0 that we've made so far.
Awesome.
Send me a contract.
So we're gonna send him the money. So there he is, Kerri. Can you talk a little bit about yourself? Can you introduce yourself to your audience?
Wait, before any of that, I actually want to know when, like, how old exactly, teenage wise? Like, when did you guys meet?
Ooh. When did
I don't want to tell this story, to be honest with you. It's
oh really?
It's really boring.
It's that boring?
Like, it's just because I was like 15 years old, and like I don't even know like what I was doing at that time. Like I think I was just like making like Avicii remixes.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I don't know. Like, I was just doing some dumb shit. And
but how long ago is this?
5 or 6 years ago, probably.
Like
a long time.
Yeah. I think it was when I still used to put out music. Kerri found something through a friend of mine that I met online as well, and then he sent me a message, and then since then we've been talking, and I have had the pleasure of releasing some of Kerri's hits.
Wow, yeah, amazing music.
Oh man,
some of Kerri's hits.
Yeah, it was some real like SoundCloud love story type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, but I think all of us has been there at this point.
Yeah.
Especially me too. Yeah. But anyway, Kerri, how did everything start?
So
I guess that's pretty much the start, I guess.
Yeah. How did you start? How did you start as a musician?
How did I start? Well, when two people love each other very much. No, but
wow, come on now, beautiful.
I mean, musically, like it just kind of like when I was a kid, I was just listening to like lots of like Daft Punk and like lots of like Kanye West and like shit like that, and I was just like, man, but then like what happened, the moment that like my interest peaked was when I was 13. A special little project called Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex came out, and that shit like blew my mind because I was 12. Yeah, and then it was just like I remember like I had this moment like Googling like how does Skrillex and Deadmau5 make music and shit, and then
here we go.
Like, I found out about Ableton, and then my life changed.
Wow.
when I was a little man.
That's so cool.
The title of this podcast is probably going to be From the Prairies to Hollywood.
Don't say that.
Yo!
Please don't title it that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Kerri used to live in a faraway land somewhere deep in Canada called...
What do you do? What is happening right now? Anyway.
Isn't that true? I think that's true, right?
I mean,
you lived somewhere
it's
deep.
true, yeah, but like I don't know, it's just like it was just shitty. I just don't like to dwell on that stuff anymore,
Yeah,
like
I get it.
Cuz like fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I mean? Like growing up in like the middle of nowhere just like sucks. Like that shit.
Dude.
That, like it really like fucks with someone, especially like someone
Yeah.
who's like doesn't want to be like a plumber or some shit.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I totally 100% can live with this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, internet. Internet is what connects people.
Yeah.
There used to
Oh,
be a
man.
commercial back in the day saying Nokia connects people, but hey,
Yeah.
now it's the internet. And probably that's why Kerri was able to get out of this middle of nowhere, and now he's living in
Montreal.
Montreal.
French shit, real French shit.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about. Let's maybe talk just a little bit about your just a quick brief mention about your transition from an old project called, you're gonna say what it is, and then to a new project named after your name, actual name. Like, what made this switch? There was a switch in the name, and there was also a switch in the vibe that you're producing, and the way you make music, and then the kind of music you're making.
Yeah. Well, I was making music and posting it on a page called Project Closure for a long time. I mean, it was just as simple as like I lost interest in like making like burial UK type shit, because that's what I was doing a lot and like listening to a lot, and I just wanted to start like writing and like singing and stuff, because I like always had in it, like I kind of always wanted to do that.
Right.
But like at some point I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start like singing, even if it sucks. And like it sucked for a long time. Like,
Oh man. Yeah.
like, you know, there's some straight up like hardcore cringe vocal performances, but like it's the vibes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
like
it's the
it's
vibes.
about the vibes.
It's
So,
humble
like, fuck
beginning.
I mean, there's a
Come on.
couple of songs that really popped off. Moody, especially. Rose Gold did pretty well. These are the songs. If you haven't heard Kerri's music, we're going to link it all over the place, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's probably playing in the background right now.
Come on.
But yeah, there's some songs that people really, really like, and they keep liking it. There's still a lot of place on them on Spotify. People stream it vigorously, and yeah. And I think I don't know if Kerri's proud of them, because like I know the mechanism. If I can say so myself, I know the mechanism of making something and then hating it immediately after you've done it.
Man.
kind of how it is. It's definitely more rare.
Yeah.
Good.
That, like, artists like the music they make, which is weird. Like I know way more people who kind of hate everything that they release right after it comes out than like people who are like super proud of everything, you know.
Man, that's
just
so
how it
sad.
is.
Why is it like that?
How
I don't
it
get
is.
it.
I don't know.
To
I
me,
mean,
like everything I make, I'm just like, yeah, you know, like I go down, bro. I don't know
I wish
why.
I knew that was like,
Man, no, but I mean,
yeah.
you guys are talented, both of you, especially you, Kerri. Like,
Thank
man,
you.
be
I
proud of
appreciate
everything
that.
you make. Of course, you should have like a
Thank you.
professional relationship to your craft, is what I'm thinking. Like, you know, what type,
Yeah.
what could I've actually have done better and then improve in that way. You get what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, I'm everyone's like, I'm my biggest critic for sure. I
That's
think
also a
everybody
good
is.
thing, I want to say.
Yeah.
Every once in a
For
while.
sure.
But don't be too harsh on yourself. Just end up
Yeah.
like a...
Name. Here's a question that just popped into my head. Name
Yes.
3 musicians that you like to collaborate with.
Ooh.
Oh, that I'd like to collaborate with.
Like the dream collab that you would like to have.
Okay. One is probably like James Blake or some shit. Like I look up to him a lot, and like what he represents to me in like music and like production and shit and songwriting around production. And then like, oh man, probably like Young Lean. That'd be fucking cool. Like I would just make like
Yo,
I would make what?
that's so cool. No, but that's like,
I mean,
yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine that.
I feel like I
That'd
could
be-
make like some cool shit for him, or like I definitely want to like produce for someone like crazy. Like I don't know.
There's
Like-
gonna be like, have you ever seen comments under? I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be a little bit picky here. Have you ever seen comments under? What's his name? Jake Paul's interviews.
No, I can't say I have.
They're very focused on his ability to say like 7 times in a single sentence.
Okay, so we're gonna switch to this conversation then.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh
Listen.
my god.
Listen. So
Carrie's very aware of that, but yeah.
I live in North America, and unfortunately, that's just how everybody talks. And I hate it just as much as you hate it, but it's a part of me.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I have to accept
It just sticks out in my whenever I'm listening. It just sticks out. It's fine. You guys can ignore it, or you can comment like in the comments. We're gonna be
Don't
fine.
do that.
You know.
Don't do that.
All right. So what else? What else can we talk about here?
Let me see. We got a few questions written down here, Craig, as well. What would you wish that you had known when you started out?
Oh man,
That's a great question, actually.
There's a lot of things. Probably the biggest one would be like being able to control my like my impulsive decision making when it's like about my music, because like I feel like a lot of the time like
Yeah.
I get like in this space where I want to just start changing shit. Like if I have like an album, I'm like swapping out tracks and like fucking with it, and
Oh
like
man.
or just
Yeah.
like deleting shit. Like I delete lots of shit,
Yeah.
and then I regret it later.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, or like yeah, I don't know. I think that I just like sometimes get too caught up in like the details of shit, and like you kind of miss the bigger picture of like what you're making.
I remember this situation when you asked me to remove FML, the video, from the channel, and then a couple months later you're like, you know what? Actually, I like it. You can put it back on.
I mean, you know, if I don't like, I don't know, like I don't necessarily like to, because if I think something is just shitty, like I try not to like feel bad about thinking it's shitty, because if it's just like I made it when I was like 15 or 16 or 17 or whatever, it's just like who cares really.
How
But
old
that's
are you
one
right now,
specifically
exactly?
I just thought was, I don't know, it's whatever. Like I kind of came to terms with it. I was like, whatever, I was a young
Right.
man, fuck it.
How
Yeah.
old are you exactly now, Kerry?
I'm the ripe age of 20 years old.
The ripe age of 20.
What? You're only 20 years, bro?
Yeah.
I knew this.
Almost 21.
But, you know.
So
Dude,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's
I
pretty
knew
cool.
this, but I had to react like this.
very cool.
Clickable.
So that's the reason why.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Man, that's pretty dope.
I mean,
Man, oh, man.
so like if I had to like put a really a really solid answer to that question of like what I would tell myself if I had to give myself a piece of advice or something, it would probably just be like from the beginning, try not to think about like the project in like numbers and shit like that, because that's like how you just like fuck yourself like super quick, you know.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. I mean, I'm going to just throw in a little bit of a response to what you said. If you focus on numbers when you start, you're not going to make what you want to make.
That's so true.
You're going to make what you think people are going to like, which is not what you want to make. Basically, that's what I've been doing since the very beginning. I play guitar. That's my primary thing. I've been playing guitar since I was 6. And when I started making music, I diverged from this skill so much, and I haven't used the guitar in the music I was making because I thought people are into glitch electronic IDM stuff. And eventually I grew tired of it. I didn't like it. And now I'm gathering the strength back to actually start using the skills that I know to do what I love. It's gonna come. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna slap his butt cheeks if it don't.
But
So
but yeah. So I would say focus, and I think Kerri would agree with that.
Yeah.
Focus on actual making what you want to make instead of making what you think is clickable. When it comes to music, and then eventually there's going to be people who actually get behind it, and people who enjoy what you've done.
I guess
So.
that's true.
Yeah, I mean, making what you want to make and like making it for yourself is kind of like rule number 1, to be honest. It's like how you get started, and it's kind of the cathartic thing about it. So like when you lose that, you kind of like really derail yourself. You know what I mean?
True.
It's funny because I have this
Yeah.
weird thing of making stuff that very specific individuals I know would like very close personal friends. I have a habit of being like, okay, I'm gonna do these tiny features in this track I'm making currently to make this one friend of mine be like, hell yeah, you know? And then I'll be like, I did that for you, bro, because I love you, man. Such a weird thing.
Tight.
Yeah. But it,
Totally
it's
shit, yeah.
rap and hip hop is a little, I guess divergent, you could say, compared to the type of genres you guys find
Bethuel has
yourselves in.
put out a new video called Better
Yes.
Than That. It's a really
Better
good
Than
video. Sorry for ignoring you for a second here, Kerry, but you just reminded me of that. I shot it on the drone, and then we've edited it together, and it's pretty dope, I would
It
say.
really came out good.
It came out pretty
Dude,
well.
we spent maybe like a combined, like the amount of time we spent on footage is like less than 20 minutes.
On actually filming it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I mean, I think we used one drone battery, which is 20 minutes.
so, dude, like it really actually really worked out well.
So it's pretty good.
Pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Kerry. I would like to ask you a few more questions.
What's up?
What's the last one that I wrote down?
What are some of your long-term goals?
Oh, there you go.
Man.
What's the goal of your career as a musician? Where would you like to be when you're 50?
50.
When I'm
Yes.
50?
No,
when
you're
I'm
50.
50? When I'm 50, I actually can't answer that question. When I'm 50, I want to live like on the coast of like Ireland or some shit, like in
What?
like a wooden oak house,
Dude, that's
and
There's-
like not
there's-
talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And like just,
There's
you know what I mean? Like with
Yeah.
a really huge window and like a studio in like
Oh, yeah.
my attic, and just I die there, and that's it. Like happy ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very much the kind of vibe that I'm feeling. I've always dreamt of living in Iceland on some hill, just fiber internet,
Yeah,
of course,
Iceland would be tight.
Oh my God, lol. Yeah.
but away from everyone.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be dope.
that would be cool.
But that's a goal for 50. What's a goal for 25?
Ooh.
I mean, just like to live comfortably in a situation where I can like do whatever I want to do and just like create shit and to have people check it out, I guess. And like I want to, do a tour is like a big one. But that's like obviously like way future shit, but
Not
whatever.
necessarily, man. Not necessarily.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. We'll see.
think
I
you're
want to
gonna
do like
get
I want to
that
make some
crap.
cool like clothes or some shit. That's like something I thought about a lot. I want to
Yeah,
like
dude.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know, I want to
mentioned
like
this to me.
I want to direct some shit. There's just a lot of things I want to do. So I don't know.
What's your work ethic with these type of things? Like because to me, there is a reason that I speak American English completely fluently, and that is that I really wanted to do that. So I'm thinking like, how much would you want to reach these goals? What are you doing to actually get a hold of them?
I mean, just I don't. I'm not sure I understand the question.
So, okay,
but
well-
I think it's like if what you're asking is like what my workflow's like. It's basically just like I try not to push myself when I don't want to work, and I try to acknowledge that like not every artist has to be creating 24/7. Like artists
Okay,
have, you know,
right.
like you don't have to push yourself 24/7 because you just burn yourself out.
Right.
But at the same time, like I just do whatever interests me in whatever time. Like sometimes I want to like shoot a video for someone or like take some photos,
Okay.
or like. And the cool thing about what I'm doing is like I kind of use everything that I do, because like if I record random footage, it ends up like somewhere else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
just like compiling a bunch of shit that I've made and then like having it as like this little like world. Like I'm super into world building in like
Ooh.
art and shit.
Cool.
It's fire.
Okay. Yeah. So if wait, you know what? I got another question here. If you weren't able to make music, what would you be doing?
So if I never made music, I probably would have went to film school. and then I would have went into either script writing or directing or cinematography or editing or something like that. Because that's like, before I wanted to make music, I was like a little kid watching like the Oscars and shit, like every
Oh,
year,
man. Yeah.
before they were trash.
Cool.
And yeah, so like, I probably would be, and like I like really like my own visual shit. It's like kind of how I like tickle that
Yeah.
that whatever.
Yeah, dude. No, I get it.
Um,
Yeah.
You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Kerri's videos are very, if I can call them that. Whenever Kerri puts together a video, which I've seen, it's very lo-fi. It's very DIY. It's very use my phone,
my
use
favorite
an
two words.
use an old camcorder with like
So cool, man. So cool.
Get an old camcorder from eBay, film a bunch of stuff, put it together on I'm just making stuff up right now, but put it together on a phone, record it with a microwave, put it through the compressor.
Yeah, holy shit.
Stuff like that. And then
That
it comes
popcorn preset button, man.
That
That shit gets
popcorn
that video
preset,
looking
yeah.
sick.
I mean, pretty much all of your videos are interesting. Now that you mention it, I kind of notice it. The Misery video, that was very interesting. You running away from the car, you being like handcuffed. I'm imagining these are all your ideas. You're the director, producer, cinematographer, the camera guy, and everything there. So.
Yeah, I mean, that one specifically was really dumb. Like, it was just like, it was me being like 18 with like a group of other 18-year-olds, and we're out in a field in fucking like Canada, and like we were really just out there giving it our best shot.
Dude,
it's pretty interesting. I like that video.
I love that. That's so great, man.
It was fun.
Yo, I think one thing that's so important for stuff like this is really to surround yourself with people like you, Kerri. Like, I want to surround myself with people like you simply because to get inspired and motivated, because it's very like, no, honestly, I feel like there's not a lot of us left that takes this craft too seriously, because now both major labels and just the guys on top, whenever it comes around the music, are just making whatever the majority of people like. So people will never get the chance to figure out if they like something else than just that, because there's so much other stuff to discover. And I feel like, like, I've heard your stuff and I've seen your videos, bro. You're good. Like, and there's a huge I feel like there's a giant market for people that are very talented and have a very interesting background story. You don't find musicians like this. No, it's true. As in, like, you typically find musicians that are like pretty talented, but is not that interesting. You're an interesting dude, bro.
I mean, if you want to, sure. I personally don't think I'm that interesting.
No, you're cool.
Yeah, you're pretty interesting.
But,
look at this handsome Arabian boy.
Ooh.
I'm just kind of being myself.
Yeah. That's what's cool, bro. There's so many that's not doing that. And I'm such a huge advocate for being, be yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I think like, obviously we're at this point in like art where like the internet exists and we're getting like hundreds of billions of streams on a song and shit. And that exists, like, and that's like super generic, like pop machine stuff is out there. But like, I think like at the same time, there's also more like bedroom shit that's like, getting heard than there was ever before, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
So like, I don't know. I mean, I think like it sucks that the industry as a whole is like really like really cookie cutter right now and shit. But at the same time, it's like making those same things are giving small artists access to lots of cool shit.
That's true. That's true.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's good and like bad parts to everything.
It's always like that, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we pretty much went through like your origin story. How did you start? What made you do things that you did? I'm going to invite you all to to listen to Kerri, Kerri, in case you're wondering. I'm going to link his stuff in the description. Yeah, thank you very much for being with us here today.
Yes.
Thank
Kerri, and
you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Our
yeah,
pleasure.
and
It's always a good time having a chat with you.
it's always a good time. All right.
It was a good time. Okay.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. That's a shorter one. We're just going to do an interview with Kerri.
Should we mention the Discord thingy?
Saying we
Where people can actually get to ask us questions, and then we will answer them in this
yes.
new format of videos that we're now doing. Because obviously, this is not a live stream. That's very much on purpose.
Yes.
The quality's not the same. We don't get to bring you the content that we really intended for this podcast. So now we're going to do it. We're going to pre-record it. We're going to make it nice and sleek for everybody that's watching. We're going to have real content like our beautiful Kerri here. And we would like to answer all the questions you might have regarding, I don't know, the artists we feature on this podcast, us as personalities, anything. I'm going to set up a little section in the Discord for anyone to ask any questions. All right?
And we're going to answer them in the next podcast in a concise manner.
Yes.
With the prepared answers, with no guesswork. It's just going to be better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time we're trying this, but I think it's going to work out better. We've done 3 so far. That's the third one. The first one was live streamed and then uploaded. The second one was straight up uploaded after the live stream. This one is going to be pre-recorded and posted. And from now on, if that works out better, that's how we're going to be doing it. So
yes. What does the time say?
We're
That's
just
so
on
beautiful.
time. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Right under 30 minutes. That was originally the plan to do it. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, Kerri, for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next time,
Yes.
wherever that might be.
Yes. Just guys being dudes. So
Just dudes being guys. And
Goodbye.
I seduced your mother.
and seduce your mother. That's what we do on this podcast,
All right,
bro.
say it again.
Oh, goodbye.